All right, we got to a third map between these two teams. For better or for worse. For TYLOO, we saw a very eventful series. For Nova. Both teams run in Silver KO, so that's the same. Jet and Omen, that's the same. The only difference being YU actually that's here, and Errant on the Killjoy. HFMI still committing to the Silver. Hasn't looked great when he's had to do it. I don't know why he just wouldn't go onto Killjoy, but hopefully that's something that they're looking to build in the future. Really nice trip here, actually. They might catch people as they're hopping down, but just as maybe there's connection about to happen, AK actually closes the distance. Maybe a bit of a mistake from Wolves to just have one player bunkering on the site alone without any support. Hopefully you will be disappointed. It's less about the utility. HFMI has some really nice like recon dart lineups that I want to steal. But for me, it feels like weaponized incompetence when I watch him. Because he just seems to like int. Whereas if you're on a Sentinel, you can lurk, you can go aggressive, you can find those timings, you have more permission to do that. As a Silver, you can't be lurking, you can't be pushing on your own. Any news on China Tier 2? What kind of news are you, like, China Tier 2 is in full swing, like it's happening. We don't have a Challengers League for it. What we have is a big tournament, like we discussed this yesterday, China National Competition, which has 4 teams qualified for it so far, one of which is Rare Atom, so that's cool. Then there's other qualifiers and stuff happening in June, I think. You're better off asking Autumn, because I think Autumn's, like, he said that he signed to a Tier 2 China team, so I imagine he'd know the dates. But essentially, you have like 16-team event, 4 of which comes from a stream competition. So these are basically like an event where the qualifiers are done through Bilibili, they're done through Douyu, they're done through Huya, and another one. This is where the main, like, this is where Rare Atom and stuff came from. And then you've got, like, so that's 8 teams total. Then you've got, like, 4 teams from, like, LAN events all around China. I think you've got 2 coming from Collegiate. 1 from North China, 1 from South China. And then you've got, like, 2 teams that come from, like, business support, essentially. It's needlessly complicated. And every time I've sort of asked about it, I haven't got much information to work with. So all I can say is I'm trying to follow it, and if I can get permissions to watch any of it, I'll do my best to. But they're not streamed on YouTube, they're not streamed on Twitch, and I don't think it's... I'm watch part in China here from watching the Huya stream, sorry, Douyu stream. Okay, Wolves actually made this eco work. Alright, yeah, they did. You're talking about Autumn and Tier 2? Did FPX drop him? No, Autumn kill you. TYLOO doing the FPX buy? Yeah, but not really. I think FPX's buy is they buy fully on 3 players. And then 2 they're on ghosts. TYLOO have been doing it as like 4 and then 1 pistol. So the fact that this eco actually wins for Wolves is even more crazy, because this wasn't just like a slight buy up after winning a pistol. Your money's just fucked now. Does having a Cypher rather than a Killjoy force you to take fights flood more on defense rather than retake protocols? Is it so like on defense, Cypher? I guess it's tricky because, like, for retaking, it's... You should know... Wolves, you should know... We saw this hit from TYLOO 15 times, I swear, in 12 rounds. Just the recon dart, the jet dashing over. And, like, you have your Cypher playing off site, but then cold... Like, if you're going to bunker on B, do it as 2. Even if you have a player here and then a player backside. Luckily, that's a teammate's molly, otherwise you're in trouble. But still, it's like, they're getting plants in. These executes are good, utility-wise. But, yeah, what was I saying? Like, retakes feel the same, because a lot of the utility that you'd have as a Killjoy or a Cypher would be placed or broken when you go for a retake. The only difference, of course, is when you have a lockdown. I think playing a Cypher just allows you, like, more flexibility here. Like, Wyu doesn't need to, like, fanny about with utility as much, or making sure that he's... Like, here, he's put his utility down, it's either tripped, it's still up, or it's broken. He can just peek out and take a duel. That's why you want to put some of your, like, best aimers on a sentinel role, right? Because you don't have to worry about flashing or reconning or smoking at the right time. Maybe with Cypher cages you can do that a bit with smoking, but mostly it's just a... I've done all my stuff. When I go for a fight, I just need to worry about fighting. They have the camera set up now on an aggressive angle, and then you've got the op here too. You got a trip, like going across here, I guess. Looks slightly like askew. Okay, knife shows where the jet is. They need help. Nobody's with them. Oh man, again. Like, Wolves, everything that they were doing here, having the op post up, putting the camera here to play off, all good. But just leaving them completely on their own that you can't help them bail out. Oh no, Coldfish. Yeah, like that. If you're a Cypher going for that peak, I'm all for it. Going as a Sova, like, get one and get back. Wyu gets free, but eventually TYLOO pick it up. Yeah, that Wolves again. I don't know what it is. I think it might just be like TYLOO on this map seem to, like, have other people play rough against them. Like, they had the dash activated, but they got hit by the KO knife. Nobody's there to, like, break the KO knife for them, or even just be in a position, like, to smoke, to flash, to peek out with them. You just put the op there and hope that they're going to be okay on their own. Luckily, you still have a buy here, Wolves. Okay, knife hits the Omen. So they're not getting one there is a crime, yeah. A little bit of a fumble, considering it goes down to a 1 versus 1, I think, in the end. Yeah, he's a little bit silly. So Wolves now have all of their Cypher util over on A.
Spring 应该是要做事的，他拿着把轻甲疗拳，他没有负担，他一定是要去找机会的。
I think overall, because there's a couple of maps now where, like Lotus, for example, teams are playing a bit more Cypher instead of Killjoy. I think in instances like this and the Cypher on Lotus, I'd still just always prefer the Killjoy. I know that teams want to play Cypher because there's more, like, stuff that you can do with it. And you can obviously have all of this set up on A, and then just rotate to B and it will still be up. Alright, the Molly and Shock Dart combo actually breaks it, right? Yeah, it was Shock Darts because Coldfish just used them. So actually, really nicely set up. That's what I mean about, like, Killjoy being readable. But I think he's maybe just leaving it late. Spike is on the other side of this, like, wall too, so TYLOO have to save. I think specifically on that round, HFMI was already used all of his utils and recon is on cooldown for 30 seconds. Sure, I mean, it's just having the body there, I suppose, more than, like, active utility. Because if that, you're trying to buy as much time as possible. So yeah, even if you've got like a recon dat that isn't available for 30 seconds, you want to be playing in a way that you're like, I want to be alive for as long as possible so I can clutch out rounds and I have great utility, some of the best utility that comes back online after a duration. It's why, like, I remember when Xiao and Enzo, like, for Copenhagen, they were the most, like, clutch players. Why? Because they were playing Initiator. They had, like, Fade Haunts and stuff to play with. And Springs dashed in. At least he has help here and support. I mean, it's a brave peak for both those players, but you have to play, like, gun advantage, so you're fine with it, mostly. Great peek from YU. Has this been a decent game, or wait, what is the emote for that one? Mud game? It's been worse than a mud game in the sense that it's been like uneventful. Like TYLOO have actually been playing pretty good for the most part, like much better as a team and stuff, but it is just kind of like it's just a battle of mid, it feels like. DRG smashed Trace, yeah. DRG played phenomenally well. And Trace just over-peaking, over-fighting, winning ecos but losing ecos. Right, maybe Trace got a little bit too comfortable with where they were at. Ooh, nice YU. You know, like fights like YU can kind of go for those, and it doesn't feel like it's as dramatically as much of a shit show. If a Sova's like double peeking that, I think it's less to do with like the actual specific situations of how much utility you have, what you have to work with. I think it's just for you to be a duelist, you have to be a certain kind of player. To be an initiate, you have to be a certain kind of player. To be a sentinel, you need to be a certain kind of player. For me, HFMI feels like he's so good at playing as a sentinel. And like YU used to be a duelist, but he moved over to that sentinel role and he's been amazing on it ever since. Yeah, Aaron's found some time, but the spike is left all the way over on A. Paranoia has been used. He's trying to save, but he's got 18 seconds to do it, and this is just horde mode. KO knife to clear him. He's been hit by it. They're peeking one at a time. Tries to get out, but Luba peeks. HFMI has been great on the Sova during Evolution series, right? Yeah, but that was in a different team with different players. Like, his initiator stuff for TYLOO hasn't been as good. Like, if you go back to kickoff, HFMI had some of the worst stats in the tournament, full stop. But for when he was playing Sentinel, like, he's been a top 10 ACS player, despite TYLOO only winning their first series last week. Yet HFMI was still one of the top players statistically, because they were just farming on this role. It might just be more of like he can play Cypher, but he can't play Killjoy. But yeah, I don't... Aaron's also a good Sova player. It's getting the most out of both of them. Sad to hear that he isn't getting the same value. Yeah, but that's expected though. Like when you're on a new team that has a predominantly core team of players. All I'm saying is, if I'm having a player lurking, I would choose HFMI to do it over Aaron. To use utility, I think both of them are good, but I think that Aaron is more of a support player, so putting him on Initiator I think works for this kind of team. When you have AK able to make plays, HFMI can do it on Sentinel. It's like Cold Fish, he's 3 and 4, but YU's had the freedom to be 15 and 3. I thought Trace would be competitive against FPX or EDG. After the DRG match, I'm not too sure. I still think they would be. Great teams still have like blips of series. If anything, I think it works out for Trace because, like, it's a good wake-up call. Like, they're not, like, just riding through groups easily. I mean, if there's a chance of, like, some of these other teams winning around them, Trace might miss out on playoffs. It's unlikely, but it's possible. Alright, so TYLOO have taken a timeout. They're by just... well, not even saving one gun, but they've just bought it up. Lost one player already. This is a nice lurk from Aaron. See, like, HFMI would win that, you know.
现在3把手枪，这相视一笑，这一分还是只能下个包了。安置棒动器之后，剑影提到铁箱。
I like the TP onto the top from Flexin. Maybe a bit too aggressive for Flexin to be going in there like that.
伏笔可能也快消失了。现在还有一把巨刃 ，AK 的巨刃很。
One left alive. AK with a blade storm. One shot. There's another. Just too many players coming at him too quickly. Okay, yeah, Wolves are nice retake again, but they had such a big advantage with weapons that they're fine. They're chilling.
第二，他换了一个无效命令，换了一个神经许息，这两个技能对于他们追分的节奏来说是一个天大的好消息。
从一扣局的角度来说，其实是赚了，
太赚了。啊，中路这波博弈稍微。
Also, FBX did drop a map against DRG.
整体看来还是敢打的，但是狼队
And EDG don't play DRG because they're in the same group.
姿态去拿分。
狼队。 So
it's a game for next stage.
群狼群起而攻之，你是很难去完成拆分的。
是的，
群狼的力量确实大呀。
那经历过了一口分之后，天路来到了自己的关键分。
Legit TYLOO ult. Util usage angers me so much.
好消息是有狂
What this map relies on so much.
爆能器甚至没带在身上。
But right, so TYLOO took a timeout the round before last. They were on an eco then, so whatever time that they took is more to do with what they're on about here. They are very aware of the op. Like being in the server, you got an alarm bot here that's going to stop Wolves from pushing and posting up. So this is good, like scaling and clearing all of this. It's taking a while. You want to be breaking this camera, breaking trips if you can get to see them. And mid has been completely given up. Like no Aldron, no nothing. There's just so much like information for free. KO Knife gets nothing. Yeah, just mid is absolutely barren from both sides. Hunter's Fury is used as this team is executing in. You got 2 players bunkering on site, so that's good. I think YU just needs to be trying to survive as much as possible because you got Spring, got one and then got traded somehow in the opposite order. And TYLOO just barrel. Like the B-side executes from TYLOO are pretty good. Aluba gets 2. And these 2 players are low. Oh, he tries to go for the flash play because of course he does. He can't help himself. The Wolves still have both timeouts. So far, yes.
就是多线渗透的打法，再到当前这一分正面的一个火力，也能看到。
That's crazy. He technically gets a kill after he dies.
压力最大的一个选手，他很多分要吃对方像 YU 的半线，要吃一些残血拉脱枪位的职责。
When it comes down to like aim duels and stuff, I think TYLOO wins.
有很多分中进的很快，都打不出。
They've locked down again, and Wolves have just used their Hunter's Fury on this like anti-B execute play. So the lockdown, unless you've got. Well, you have to shock that Molly lineups from last time, but neither the Silver nor the KO is playing together. Interesting recon. It just clears out wine. Yeah, that's pretty good lineup actually. Worth stealing. KO flash again, right click. You gotta have lineups for these kind of things if you're going for an execute. The Molly actually gets a Luba. I think the Hunter's Fury gets a tag and then the Molly goes on the other side. Actually, again, this is a sick execute. And Spring. It's round 10. Your money's pretty rough. You want to be saving this as much as possible, but he's making so much noise. Wasn't even really looking to flexing once he went around the corner. Yeah, I think a timeout now would be nice. maybe could have come in last round because like the only thing that has been working for TYLOO has been B executes. And then they got A here and it just stompy stomp stomp all the way through.
对，包括也存在着一些较强的意图在。
现在就咱们 VCTCN 里面的比赛
They know that he's sort of pushed behind, so with money being as tight as they are, I don't think TYLOO were going to be super keen on like hunting for kills.
就刚刚谁都没有想到
Because if you save this, you have a buy for next, and then even if you lose the next round, you should have a buy after that as well, so you're set for the rest of this half.
有点点预判到了你可能会藏的位置。
I don't know how accurate that is either. Oh, he TPs into the other corner where there's a molly.
是二楼下哦。
It's either that he like dies to the molly there, or he dies to the Hunter's Fury, so...
是能够有一个穿墙的伤害的。
是的。 6比4的比分，现在上半
Pick
场
your poison.
进入尾声啊！现场粉丝的呐
Yeah, you
喊
see?
很激情。
首要目标把这把狙找出来，把全面封锁的收益发挥到最大。你现在得时刻小心狼队的技能 combo 啊！
对，
他的碎片一出又来到了 B 通的一道。
No timeout.
但是巡一剑可能不一定补得上这一分。
I mean, you've bought here too, and if you lose this, you really haven't got much to work with if you're Wolves.
来，
So there's so much riding on it. The KO knife, however, is great because it gets so much information.
一波直接被缓速了。
I think it gets like 3, maybe even 4 players.
这一分我觉得得转吧，这信息技能一个一个
I
往
think this is a way too early
接下来他如果
like
往
owl drone.
对面就可能3到4人在接你了。
给 fake 了，给了一个 A 小的烟，但是中路寻敌剑逼出明居的位置，
还是被扫到了，
感觉转不了，转可能要挨枪子。
Forces out some utility from both sides. I think Ice King uses a flash to fight mid, but it gets the dash out from Spring. He's forced to back up.
但没有这个可能性。接下来其实就是你瞒我瞒的情
Are
况。
they gonna Killjoy lock down fake on B and then go A?
A 区只有
Yeah, they are. But the KO knife only gets the Killjoy, so they're not falling for this at all.
有吗？不够不够。
So the call is then for TYLOO to go back towards B.
会形成一个圈在那
You don't have a From the Shadows, which is unlucky from the Omen.
这个打掉
And now they were like, oh, it's just the Killjoy that we've seen over here. Now, like, no, there's nothing else here. So
是这，好像还
they've at least smoked this off.
过点上。
So that's better than last time. KO knife to clear this.
灵性的这个转角
Just this like death ball walking all the way through. One way onto this once the smoke drops.
第3层，
临场的应变肯定是 S King 去布置的。
Bit of a to and fro,
我自己头是有点
but the plant at least comes in.
回来了。
既然
And it's a hard retake now.
那就
All of the players though from TYLOO are on the B site. Nobody's in B main.
缺失了一些的，但第2时间回防的角度
And then you got this smoke that you're playing close with, so you have like multiple angles.
站位，
打闪进，
Oh, the flash is fantastic.
防扫没有中，
Actually works out perfectly this time for Plex.
运气很不错。
Ice King only getting 1 on that angle. AK has a dash. Oh, the recon is perfect as well. It comes in from HFMI.
是个1打2残局，有一杆狙在，
时间不多了，
拆分打一个，断
Oh, and Spring just wins it. Is there time though?
狼队又拿分。
Yeah, there's time.
时间上是完全来得及的。上半场已经是一个7比4了，
这回
Hey, Laris. My favorite VCT China co-streamer. Thank you very much.
因为他们本来
To be fair, I don't think there's many of us.
然后回到 B 区，
But I'll take it.
没有办法再去往中路和 B 通留人了，全部守。
And then he does another flash, which buys a little bit of time. I think it forces AK away from that angle.
是，包括这个短炮非常极限的距离拿到这个击杀也很关键吧。
Yeah, Wolves not using the timeout at all this half.
上半场的最后1分，狼队的经济依旧是比较充裕的。
I mean, 7 defensive rounds is like fairly good.
同时天路这边是全长枪，是。中位技能上来说的话，天路是有关键的。
And maybe Plex is making the calls that he just agrees with, so he literally has nothing to add.
体系的核心
That
点。
the only adjustments that he would consider making, maybe Plex is already suggesting them. So he's like, I don't need to time out. They know what they need to do.
这半线的声音都。
哎，你别说啊，如果够近，其实是有可能听到的。
哦，
但其实 YU 永远是人线分离，这个其实从上半场这么多分看来是如此。
是。但天路第一波技能交出来，并没有探到小春的站位，这把明居究竟在哪？
中路的推进还挺顺利的，基本吃不到什么过点压力。
Okay, what's the
这也与他们
plan?
的习惯有关系。除了
The
当时
trip going across
其实
here,
中
trip
路控制很少。
going across the step onto here, I think.
开了，这分应该是
Null command.
无效命
I mean, it's going to come through. It's going to hit the cipher, so those trips are going to be down. The spraying through is quite nice. I mean, usually that's why you have the KO, sorry, leading
这波过路
on the execute, so the general spray that comes in goes onto him.
血量比较低了，但好在是
And then allows another plan. So TYLOO showing a different execute with the KO that we've seen from them so far. It's another great like right-click flash.
补上枪，我觉得打这
Just separates Wolves up enough when they try to go for the double P to clear this. I think that was a team flash though with the other one. Yeah, because Plix hasn't used either of their flashes. So they kind of screwed it up. Actual left click flash is good. Nobody's out in the open to really get hit by it. There's one on site, two in like tree. Plix hops down, he thinks that there's one hell. Doesn't expect one close. Alright, 7-5 for TYLOO. Wolves getting 7 despite losing the pistol though. Like, pretty impressive from them.
就正如我们刚刚复盘分析聊到的一样，就数在站位嘛。那这一分我就把鸡蛋放在不同的篮子里，我 A 小有放人 ，A 大有放人，包点有放人，搜点的次序以及小技能的收益不可能再像上一分的 B 区那样那么高。
而且天路其实有个做法，我觉得还是挺聪明的，就是他在开局第一时间。
Wait, did they lose the pistol in the end? I can't remember. My short-term memory today is just not with it.
这样子做信息互换，其实他们是有更多的空间，是守方要猜进攻的意图。但他们对他们来说，他们只要知道，哎，你这个地方有过这个人，我大概就。
What is the score of the other game? Did I close it? 11-1. Global Esports.
是。
So that's going to a third map. Fantastic.
就是大概这样的情况。
Surprised TYLOO have gotten this far. Yeah, they've not played that badly, actually. This map, it's not been super amazing to watch. From either side. I think at this point, understanding Ascent should be it should be one of the first maps that people get to grips with some of that nuance.
天路在这张地图第一分就出现了发枪的情况，是给到了 AK 一把轻甲的狂怒。那在守方他会不会做一些这种
潜艇战术嘛？
哎，我觉得有可能，因为很早的时候，在当时看女子比赛的时候
But I think across this series, I've not really been that impressed with either side, to be honest.
两边放空，再来做反清嘛，就荔枝打的那一套，
就是打中间放两边，大不了我们打回防，主要就是这种思路。对，那这张图其实
like it's just felt a little bit flat from both sides.
连接位置的零点秀探加上寻敌剑，还是说就是从中门那里从烟中打一个瞬爆这样的出点方法都是有的。
I feel like some of the flashiness maybe that like I expected to see from Wolves with the players that it has been like not really there. I'll probably rate Wolves low after this series. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, Wolves haven't really been performing that well, even against like all gamers. Yeah, TYLOO won the pistol, but they lost the anti-eco straight afterwards. So I think it's like 3 pistols for TYLOO, 2 for Wolves. But this pistol would go a long, long way for TYLOO. So the fact that AK is playing from there, like they have this little setup play, like after contact that they flash and peek, and then you have the recon to clear stuff. Like it's a common pistol, but somehow they're actually making it work. It is just a complete shit fest, though, of a round, isn't it?
这一波2花2进点安置爆能器，优势在狼队。有人在绕后，有预期。
That's mud. That's absolute mud Valorant.
来了，猎枭 PK， 字母哥显得很低，优被混了枪身体。
HFMI is low.
这时候得靠魔法伤害。同时 A 小这个烟中危机四伏，跳拉进来，好生。
Actually, that worked out nicely, but HFMI going down means that it's all flexing.
火力这个残局，弗勒星的机会很渺茫。
Like he's full health at this point. Coldfishers are shocked at still. He's shocked at himself.
还在骗，还在骗。
Oh my god! He didn't even get half.
好紧张，
这还在剑影踢做假骗。
And he TP'd all the way back.
完了，被发现。
What the fuck am I watching? Oh my god!
对这种临场的应变和极
Mud.
考验个人能力的情况下，
Why did he TP all the way back to hell?
夜宵的宵了，属于是。
I can't work out. Like, surely it must have been for a reason. Was he expecting he was going to get pushed and then TP'd there?
85，那对于天路来说可能
most normal TYLOO round. Good god. Somebody clip that and just send it to Sliggy, please. I want him to know that this is what I'm watching instead of whatever he's watching.
很可惜，很可惜。
And somebody just grabbed that whole like end of the round.
4把燎拳1把树，哎，哇！上一分来之不易的拿下了，这一分要狠狠的起枪。
天路有没有机会
Yeah, God forbid adding defuse kits into this game.
翻一个。
Wolves were legitimately gifted a pistol there.
然后 A 小探
Can't be much better, to be honest. I don't know. Clip it and ship it.
闪和短炮
See what he
两
thinks.
把短炮，其实我觉得会有说法。首先 A 小这个一直在藏烟，Ascent 现在还是有一些短距效果空间，同时还有2把正义的混。
It's always flexing. It's always flexing like in these, oh, maybe kind of clutch moments.
交锋
And then it just
地图控制权，狼队都拿下了。
goes so wrong for him.
控图做的还挺贪心的，除了 A 场全都拿。那同时中路的夹击马上也可以形成了。
Oh yeah, that whole play, just the overheat. It's definitely
说是看着对面的屏幕
not the best.
跟刚刚的 A 场前顶绝对有关系。补烟，
But we haven't had many moments like that, to be honest, today.
飞脚步平摊进来，传烟传。
Good read from YU, just wallbanging that position, even before the recon.
意识太到位了，第二时间烟中还有藏恶鬼。这一波，哎，出来！
Oh my god, that's close. And there's 2 players in that. Aaron gets 2, Flexen's in with a shorty, gets 3. It's a 1 versus 1. Spring doesn't... Oh, he has to plant on B. There's just no time to go anywhere else.
对 Aaron 曾经恩特战队的
I mean, honestly, this is a sick, like, eco round from TYLOO.
如今你在我的对立面 ，Spring 说能不能让我安个保险？
And Aaron's rotating away. There's no way that he could have got there.
装成功，这一波还有变数。
Oh, man.
没办法，但是无论
I understand going back and giving space, but, like, why do you think he's going A?
确实，这2分天路其实都是有机会拿下的，但是最后还是输在了一些小细节之上。
艾瑞说：“这真不能怪我吧？我这短炮打2个，我这对吧？艾瑞当时是拿了个3杀了。
对
Great shot.
是尽力了。
Bullshit shot.
追分节奏上来说是能接受的。
Good shot.
但转折点的1分要来了，这1分是天路在下半场第1分长枪分。
Like, he has 23 seconds before picking up the spike.
我很好奇狼队的起枪，
怎么说？
他们会不会把提前那个长枪分给移到这1分？
我觉得可以。
Well, at least it's come back to, like, at least we got something interesting happening this
其
series.
实就是奖励分，不是说当奖励分打，就是奖励分，奖励一下，尽可能的多下一点枪。他还是想以
Bonus is rough, though, for Wolves.
当前的对局。
Yeah, like, that's what I mean. Like, the whole little setup that they had with the smoke here with the shorty. Because he had HFMI over here, too. But he got
也
wallbanged.
比较理解狼队的选择吧，就是他上1分起的是数位燎犬，掉了这么多把，这1分你还让他去统
Like,
治
I know, not a bad idea from TYLOO at all.
还是中路的控图，
有信息啊，其实开局的技能教的还挺多，枭星无人机这么早就教了吗？那狼队第2波进点的技能其实挺匮乏的。
Spring 的英雄枪孤军深入
I also think in that kind of instance, though, where there might be time for Spring to get the spike and go away, I'd still be playing more around, like, B.
灵性，那后续 A 点的夹
Like, if he goes and manages to make the time to plant A, that's fine.
后点位有个钉子
But，you don't want to rotate away from the site that you're playing on to give them a window to go in.
这确实
That's just,
AK 有意
you
识
know.
到，同时近点夹
rough
这个距离，想抓他命。
The flash isn't that great, actually, from Ice King, but Flexit just peeks and gets 4 anyway. They weren't expecting it.
闪存过在，
It didn't look like any of them were fully flashed, but that might just be like a UI thing.
我的天
这就是
哪，
无为契约，
太恐怖了，兄弟。
你永远会折服于你队友的顶尖道具，
没错，
而你的队友也会为你收获4杀而感到高兴。
如果不戴着耳机，我相信弗勒辛一定给 X King 一个大大的拥抱了。
确实太棒了。这1分是直接挽救队伍于危亡之中，这1分对于天路来说太重
It
要
fully
了。
gets the silver. Actually, no, it does get, it gets YU and Coldfish pretty hard.
我自己的枪械其实优势很大，但是
But the first player definitely wasn't. Maybe the second player
这个
wasn't.
闪光等于说解除了所有的隐患。
But Servo was fully blind because he was setting up with
还有
the
追分的可能。
recon dart here, so he was pretty much looking right where the flash popped.
此时比分还是比较暧昧的，所以我觉得对于天路来说还是有追分空间的。
小心神经取息，这一轮前列为吊人，可能信息战不一定打得过。
是的，狼队的进攻又开始慢了下来。其实从图1开始，我们就能注意到狼队在最近的比赛中吧
Wolves fighting for mid a bit more. Given a lot of space here, but to be fair, TYLOO didn't fight mid much at all when they were attacking.
就那时候5个兜底的哥们儿，然后在Marco 和 After 教练加入之后，去给到团队一些战术上和变速上的提升。
Molly forced out early, 50 seconds. Have you done anything towards B? Not really. Have you Aldroned? Yeah, HFMI has, and he has a recon still.
转为中路慢推，
And then here, after the KO knife getting a lot, these guys are just in there pinging this because they don't have information on it.
手夹击其实在
The alarm bot was broken too.
没有什么阻碍，但是32
It's either broken or recalled. I think it was broken.
交替夹臂两
I think it would have been silly for them to recall it.
放在 B 通， 他队友来的可能会有点
Chaos
慢。
Knife. Don't think it might have hit the kill drive, but I don't know.
扫到了一些战人，防止被穿交了 dash。
3 players bunkered on this site from TYLOO. Don't know why Aaron decided to push the smoke like that alone. There's so little time. You just want to be like, kind of like what we're seeing from Flex in here. Flex has played it perfectly. Like, just make it really awkward for them and use utility to clear you out. Just makes it fairly easy for Wolves to go on from then on out. Like, having 3 on site here is great. Why Aaron would go peek into the smoke on stairs is beyond me. If there's 2 of you there, yeah, play in the smoke. The other reason why you get traded is because HFMI is spraying. Like, you can play like in this corner, like watching across that way. You can play behind this box and watch across this way.
对吧？这个其实就是当前他们领先的一个很大的原因，协同度高了。
Probably what the coaches are saying as well. Like, just you have the right people in the right places, but you're still just losing the fights. You're not losing against these guys because they're aim diffing you. We've been doing that all series. We've been destroying them. But we only destroy them when we play together as a team. Don't do things on your own. If the time is red and they're still entering the site, you are in a great position as a defender. Because if Aaron just plays there and survives there a little bit longer, he might buy 2 to 3 seconds. They might lose the spike in an awkward place that they can't plant. Need TYLOO to win for Group Omega so they have 4 playoff spots. I guess that's also why JDG aren't mathematically out for playoffs, because they could finish 4th, depending on how other teams like play. I don't know though.
但是其实你也很难想象说 AAK 他到底敢不敢起局往外压，真起了。
YU's doing good. Flexing's been playing well. But this is just gone on about it enough.
局大秀了 ，AK 的局是真有说法，他是最早使用齐乐代局体系的人，
就是在这张地图。
对
，A 小齐乐台局。
对。
Knife one way, fighting for A. 2 KO flashes used from Plex as they're executing in, and AK is still able to get 1. Who was the one though? It's Plex. Spring is 2 HP. You got the cage that you've put up just because the smoke is going to drop like soon. Or at least if somebody tries to push for the smoke, you're going to get a sound cue. Molly misses, but it stops them from planting like default, so they're planting right in the corner. So HFMI has grabbed another one. Oh, this is nice though from TYLOO. The KO flash deep in while flexing flanks, that's grand. And the paranoia and the peek. Like, this is good, TYLOO. That's great. That's a actually fantastic retake. But those kind of things are just so few and far between with this team. It's unbelievable.
他是跟当时 Cold Fish 在日落之城一样那种顶级意识。
他感觉不对，因为肯定有队友在，关键他的视角，他们那种听觉是更加敏锐的。
对。哇，这一波确实太华丽了。
This is just a mud fight.
这个节奏起码对于天路在下半场持续这个追分上。
He TP's past the trip. The camera doesn't spot him. He breaks it though as the flash comes in.
还是可以利用起来，还是可以施压。再一点 ，A 场见到这两兄弟这配合，你是真的。
Amazing round from TYLOO. Let's go.
练出来了，苦练啊！你别看他现在6-14，他15个助攻
，If they could just play like that more often, then they would be an actually strong team.
16个助攻啊，两边 KO 都是。
I don't understand why you can play a Cypher but not Killjoy. I think it's just like more how you play off your utility. I think it's easier to counter Killjoy than Cypher nowadays too. Coldfish just wins that fight. AK is clearing mid with an op, slow walking out. Back to the mud we go. And the spike is left in a really weird, just a weird execute it seemed like too. Aaron's in a good spot to fight that though. Alright. We go again.
群狼群起而攻之，但没有想到撞到一把判官身上。
是
就在这种短1850的这种判官面前，基本上人人平等。
甚至我觉得他们可能在猜，就是你的这个顺爆不会在一开始就。
Like, why you just want an agent more to like that allows him to play around like that?
顺爆 combo 的时候，我去抓你点内的空虚。
对，狼队要不要考虑去喊个暂停啊？现在
Yeah, strange round.
连续拿了几分了。
Pandemonium everywhere. What do we like for money? Wolves are on an eco, so TYLOO's gonna make it 9. Should make it 9. I've said too much already. We know what's gonna happen now.
短枪往中路去走，应该大概率还是要往 A 小去踢。
And I've used just dodge his spring. I think they pinged it. I don't know if they're pinging it just being like a, oh, play there, go careful. Or if they might have heard some noise from the jet. I don't think so.
按照这张地图，常规狼
Especially when they pinged it, that's where the Omen played from.
A 区有预警，来了，队友在勾，这是个钩子。
Yeah, I'm flexing. Actually, like, good calling from Ice King to put him there because it worked perfectly.
而且他们是那种智慧双子星。
Smoke, flexing's out. Ice King's out facing. Paranoia to... Oh, he just gets the kill onto YU too.
开天眼了，今天。
这 YU 真的人鱼。
Paranoia comes across on sight.
被接，这两个人。
Oh, man, flexing.
太夸张了，弗洛辛。
Nice shot from Plix. You got somebody going up the stairs. HFMI making a lot of noise, but he just does the better weapon. Yeah, Flexing just getting 2 kills out of 3 on players that he couldn't physically see,
天路一个时间
as you average do.
现在在这张地图，虽然说他们落后1分，但比分越咬越近，经济的持续积累是狼队不能接受的。而这种两之间的配合 ，A 区是弱侧吧？
是
，A 小是短距离吧？
对，
你打不过，
打不过。哇，这太。
All right, it's getting closer. Wolves using their first timeout on round 20.
顺爆闪厉害了，他选择给了烟，甚至给了个近点烟，但没有想到这反而成为了弗勒辛
Yes.
的一个屏障。
Interesting decision making.
和桑爱教练非常希望看到。
What score is the other series at the
跟
moment?
队友们沟通。
是，狼队在尽可能的把暂停往后捏，就自己上半场是没叫过的，现在下半场才叫第一个。
TYLOO and Wolves. That's what we're watching right now.
2分，对方要把比分反超了。
是的。
1-all, 13-5, and they go to Ascent. That'll be a fun one to watch. There's 2 teams playing on Ascent. This is muddy. They're gonna be muddy.
我们俩写的牌子啊。
Muddy, muddy, muddy.
感谢。啊，也是感谢我们现场的观众为我们的无论是解说也好，还是选手
Yeah, this is the third map.
做应援，感谢你们的到来。
是，对于狼队来说，其实此时确实是背水一战的，因为其实我们在赛前就铺垫过，我们有我不由天。两支队伍他们需要尽可能的去拿下。
Flexing doing a can-can monitor thing. Feels like it's working, no? He's been playing better today than like previous.
生死时刻了，9比10的比分，暂停结束，狼队会做和调
Yeah,
整。
flexing 21 and 12 is impressive.
A 区想要打 rush，
HFMI's climbing up.
无效命令双方都有，那就
So what's the setup? You got the Omen right in this corner. KO-Knife's gonna hit him. He still one-ways this.
关键
KO-Knife used on that side.
再启动个无效命令，这是守方的无效命令。
Wait, which side is using the KO ult?
因为 A 区弱侧嘛，想争取一些。
Is it Ice King?
OK，那万一对面是假打呢？
Like he uses it just before he expects Plix's to, so it's sort of a game of chicken on when they use it.
是，但至少现在看来的话，还挺
The
酷。
Wolves have just
这个无效命令交出来
cut noise.
特别好的效果。
他这个终极技能换了一个字母哥
I
回
think that's going to come in, and actually this works out really nicely for
用
Wolves
手上的技能帮到队友。
because they're rotating away, and it's just they cut noise, sat back so they won't get KO knifed again, won't get hit by the recon,
被躲了。
and they've rotated just based on that one recon.
要打 B，
有信息差呀，那这后续可能会导致一个很坏的结果，就是 A 点只有福乐星。
狼队还在等，耐心的狼
耐
队。
They've really sat quietly here.
感觉是机会了，
但其实这样
But they are playing so passively because they expect like a KO knife to come back in. Who's IGL for TYLOO? Ice King.
好，启动无效命令，反制的烟雾没效果，但是
So they got YU on the lurk, which is a big kill.
几杯发凉啊
And！the execute on A is going to come in. Not really much contention.
其实我们从上帝视角看，好像不太会发生。
狼队会损失。
How did it get back to being this close? I think it's mostly...
他有狂烈之怒，手包是有保障。
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
可能要拼。
Ice King 上校是把 AK 吓了一跳，掉血回来中间。
Just TYLOO had some good retakes. Hunter's Fury used... This is like a brave call.
可惜啊，没有命中。
But the fact that it catches Eren, like, they were one away from a lockdown,
是回防没
means that you need to worry about the lockdown next round.
迅速的天路往
Good flash again, like playing in smokes, just his right-click flash this from KO, and like, finding a lot of success. HFMI flexing 2 versus 2. Oh my god, Spring actually going for that is crazy. Oh my god. Actually a really nice round though from Wolves. It's a shame that you lose YU in this position, but managing to like cut noise. TYLOO fall for it. They rotate too much over towards B. And a nice 3K from Spring. And in China, would you see somebody dash like that? Yeah, he's just literally trying to get them off the defuse.
能够看到天路的成长和狼队的成长，是不管是个人的爆发。
Some sort of default Wolves have been doing last couple of rounds, I think.
两支队伍它风格接近，
Just playing for top mid.
队员都很能扛，都是有机会通过时间和沉淀来往更高的台阶去迈的。
是的。
Surprised that they don't have like the killjoy set up over towards like B. A, sorry. You know, just like the turret across here, alarm bot here.
往点里去进一进。
是。
Because TYLOO haven't really done much on their like defensive side, right? Like it's just they've been playing for this an awful lot. Every agent that's playing in these positions now has played in these positions for the last 10 rounds. They've all run to try and get the jet up, like posted in a position. Doesn't have an op. Why are you not afraid to fight them? Puts a camera up, which is gonna force like TYLOO to actually push into B main to break it. Lockdown is going to be used to stall. You still go for the execute or not? Seems like it. Recon isn't cleared by any of the 3 players on site. I thought somebody would have like got it. I don't think it hit the player here, but it hit the 2 behind them. They just got ran over. They used the lockdown to try and stall it out, and they still get ran over. HFMI had a recon, by the way, and he's just like fighting.
这个点数真的很担心会给到像 YU 这样的选手，他的神经曲息就
Yeah, I mean, you've also got 3 players on site, so if you recon here or recon here and it pings, easy wall banking kills.
他们是不会心满意足的，饥饿的狼要去啃食自己的目标。
此消彼长之间，狼队肯定是更希望去减轻自己接下来几分的这种对枪压力。
How could flexing not rotate? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
天路的双子星配合和协同，他们已经尝到过厉害了。
Like, why is HFMI there?
选择把重心克里斯指挥，让队员们往 B 区去打。纵使你放了3个人，都没有能够挡住。
是，甚至一个没接住。那这一分到手之后，狼队也是手握了3个赛点，现在压力其实会给到天路身上。
紧急喊一个暂停，这个暂停是双。
I mean, part of it is just 2 teams that have a lot of pressure on them to perform,
快速终结比赛，或者说
bottling it against each other. Hello, Orions.
能够去终结比赛的端倪。
那同样，他给对面帅帅。
Is it a break between maps at the moment for Pacific? I feel like I can tell because I feel like there's just a lot of people that can come in and be like, hello, how's it going? Like I see that like there's a bump up in like viewership. So I'm like, oh, it must be like a break between maps for Pacific. Surely their macro and micro isn't that bad in practice. Test, mud. Yeah, the emote works. Yeah, I'd say the same with that as well too. It's actually Wolves taking a timeout, so they might have gifted TYLOO an opportunity to be able to talk to their team here. It's brave from, like, maybe a bit silly from Wolves to be like, I guess they're timing out now to be like, okay, like, here's the killing blow. But is there anything that you're really going to be worried about? Ultimate-wise, no, not really. But all you've given is TYLOO a time to come up with another, like, eco strat to an extent. Because you have Bladestorm, they have Judges. I'm going to be so annoyed if Wolves don't win this round because they called a timeout here. I thought it was TYLOO for a second, but then I forgot that they'd already just timed out. Why would you time out when you're on match and series point? Yeah, and TYLOO are doing the same thing. You're right. Aluba just... Oh my god. It's like somebody playing Among Us for the first time. I'm going for a piss. I can't be fucked. I just can't. I can't be bothered.
别来了吧，这 A 点这俩人真的有点厉害的，
确实有点夸张。而且字母哥他能意识到离魂落地的是花园，他有可能是听到了，不然他不可能在那种位置架的。
刚刚肯定是有一个对内的沟通在的，因为你要很明确一点，就是 Ascent 他接着自己的判官是往 A 通去看的，
对，
然后字母哥一个人来看玻璃房，
他完全把后背就花园放空了，就是为了给字母哥。
这可能也是对于自己就队友的信任吧。
没错，那么12比10。距离天路想要追进加时的愿景还有2分，
最难的一分已经挺过去了。这一轮狼队掏空加迪，真焦灼。
YU 现在28杀，全场最高，他依旧是发挥最稳定的那个人。
在这儿，
中路挂3个，有自动哨兵在，其实能够形成两端的重防。H 依旧是 KO 加幽影，这俩哥们儿在确实很令人放心啊。
中路整体是一个漫步渗透，狼队又打回了自己最开始那一套。但是此时现在天路，我觉得他对这种慢打节奏的适应度已经上来了呀。下半场打了那么多次了啊。
福勒星还在 A， 其他人呢？具体的站位情况，现在给到克里斯的参考技能真的不是很多。克里斯得引领团队了，这个团最为关键的生死攸关的时刻。
是，
如果他们这一分丢，下分是没钱的。
这个情况其实是挺关键的，其实这是一个挺关键的信息。
Oh my god, has it got any better?
希望自己被追进加时，就所谓一鼓作气再而衰30节，他们要抓紧机会去结束比赛。
想抓一个，
假打过了一个，
要不要考虑过来抛个帽子 ？YU 选择往 B 区去逼近。
I mean, HFMI was over here, so the setup was a bit different, but a minute has passed.
No. 要不要考虑转呢
？30秒，很紧迫了。
没转点空。
That's why you were gone. Yeah, I really needed a win. I was just like, I don't care. I'm just gonna do it now.
他有飞杀机会，他的飞杀得打一个人，同时 Aaron 接了一个，第二时间补枪，终于是补上了
，1到2个
，AK 有飞杀，但是这么准被接了 ，SK 排山倒海的压力给到身上，4打2的残局
4 versus 2, 4 versus 1. Put us out of our misery, Spring. Thank you.
YU 的最后一个击杀也是。
Yay! Wolves win, but at what cost?
立刻强敌天路。因为他们后续的晋级争取到了更多的。
Oh, like Jungle just giving Spring a big hug.
所有的粉丝都会为狼队捏一把汗。
是，
他们那个6比6开局图2的霓虹钉，甚至在后面得分都会非常的艰难。但是来到了图3，来到了亚海玄城，曾经对阵过4打。
I think Wolves still looking fine. Hard work pays off.
其实从之前打 AG 那场3-11的惊天翻。
That's not the series I put that sign on. Yeah, I feel bad for TYLOO, but like, man, just when they take a step forward, they just fall on their asses 3 steps back. Like, this isn't a worse team in China caliber team, and we saw so many like good retakes. Like Split was really well played from them. Sunset looked a lot better. Like, you wouldn't make any roster moves with this team. I think it's really well constructed now, but it's just simple things like playing HFMI not on a Sentinel. Look at TMV's stream right now. Oh god, what is he doing?